Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Jupiter's Croc here on the Outpost Unknown YouTube channel. My name is Matthew, joined with
Mongrel on mongrel.
Ronan. How are you today?
Yeah,
You're
I'm
very
here.
excited.
Steve is here. Steve, do you have candy? I have candy. Let's talk about the pit. Pit.
And of
I don't
course,
have candy.
Plodicus himself,
No,
Steve.
I brought candy last time to do the bit, and Matt fucked it up. I decided I'm not doing it again.
Okay,
God damn it.
well, that's fine. Apologies for a week break, folks. We had to go see the Medicus, but we are back. And we are ready to roll now, gentlemen. This is the episode that made us like diehard fans of this show, so I don't think we're burying the lead by just up front. I mean, look at Ronan. He's like just aching to talk. Like he just has so many things he has to say about this episode. But let's talk about real quick before we get into the thing in the pit, which is
God
episode
damn it.
4. Before Ronan, I want you to go back to the days when we were first watching this. Like, what was your immediate reaction after you watched this episode?
What kind of like when you were asking, like, what was your media reaction to the first few episodes when you first saw them live? That was like 20 years ago. That shit's all abandoned my brain. But I can tell you how it still holds up every time we rewatch it. And I'm like, oh yeah, this episode's so fucking good. We still find things. I'm sitting
Yeah.
here watching it, and I'm like, I see this old fucking gladiator in the background. I'm like, who in the fuck is this? I've never seen this guy before. I put it in the chat, and Steve finds him, the veteran, and we've learned something new.
Ah,
We've learned something new today. An episode we have watched countless times, and we have just discovered something new. That's how you got a quality show.
okay. Now, Steve, you've known Ronan way longer than I.
Hmm.
I'm not used to seeing him this excited about anything. Like, is this something new to you? Seeing Ronan this excited about something?
Yeah, he is. I mean, it's like the top tier episodes of Spartacus and like really high quality third party Beast Wars toys are like the only things he gets excited about. I mean, look at the shit behind me. Like, I get it. I get it. That wasn't a
Fair.
judgmental comment. That was just an
Well,
accurate comment.
also my Ghostbuster figures, which I could show, but spoilers. I've got housework going on, and the guys that are doing work downstairs moved all of my downstairs shit up here. So this is about
I mean,
all the space I have
we
to
can see
move.
Stay Puffed. I think that's a Slimer. I can
Underneath
argue
Stay
there.
Puft is my PKE meter, and underneath that is the trap, and beside it on the wall is the
Well,
proton
I
pack.
mean, we can't see any of that. So yeah, I mean, we just see
Well,
Stay
yeah, like I
Puft.
said, even if I move the camera, you could, but that's a different rant.
No, Ronan is rarely hyped for anything.
Yeah, he's chomping at the bit. I could just see him. He keeps moving closer to the camera. He's like, "Let's talk, but let's wait a little bit longer before we talk about this, Steve."
How's
Back
everybody's
in the
weekend?
yeah,
What are we doing?
it was pretty good this weekend. Yeah, I mean, it's really hot this weekend. It's like going to be 100 tomorrow, Steve. You know, it's wild here in Nebraska. Do you
Goddamn,
remember,
how did
Steve?
you guys get that heat? Usually it's Memphis that gets it, and it's only going to be like 80 tomorrow.
It was like snowing a few days
Yeah,
ago, and now it's
It
Monday,
was
it was
snowing one day, and then it was 85 the next day.
Monday and
insane.
Tuesday below freezing. I was worried because the water line that just got fucking fixed still has cold air from the outside blowing onto it. And I was like, oh, fuck me. But it didn't. Everything's good. It was
Okay.
All right,
like 20, it was like
this bit has
24
gone on long
degrees.
enough. Matt, what were you gonna ask?
I was going to ask you, Steve, what do you remember from back in the day when you first saw this episode?
I remember being wowed. This like all of the weird experimental shit that we didn't like from the first several episodes
All gone.
was gone at this point. Spartacus got humbled and therefore could actually have some character growth. Uh, Bodiotis, he still for Roman in this time period, he is kind of showing his likable side to an extent in this episode. Like this is the episode that really hooks you. Yeah, I remember just immediate like positive, happy feelings after watching this. This is what I do. Okay, I am going to finish this series. Matt again had warned me that the series is great. Gets off to a rough start.
Yeah.
Episode 4 is gonna, it's gonna hook you,
Yeah.
and yeah, it
So I
absolutely
feel
fucking
like
did.
3 episodes is that's a fair acceptable amount for a TV show, maybe 4. At least if they're the beginning episodes for a TV show to be a little rough because they're finding their footing. I feel like that's kind of an acceptable amount, not like, if it's a 12 episode first season and it takes 9 for the show to finally get good. That's just a shitty show at that point. Like, but, I feel like it's an acceptable amount. The only weird, finger quotes, "weird artsy" thing, and I don't think they do it anymore, is there is a moment in the pit where Spartacus is, like, killing a guy, and you see, like, digital blood splatter on the camera lens. And it's like that's kind of it. After that, everything is just like, "Let's just shoot this straight, guys. Let's just, camera here, guy doing this here."
Let's
Yeah.
limit
Yeah.
the montages going
Yes.
forward. Even
Yes.
I think there's some montage in this episode, but it's minor compared to the 37 years of Spartacus swinging the sword, like in the previous episode.
Some say that montage is still going on.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember like just obviously being wowed by this episode, and I remember because I was just like, this is like a perfect episode. It's like perfect, and just over the years, looking online and other Spartacus fans, it seems to be universal. Like, if you can make it to this episode, you're
Except for
gonna
that
be
one
all
guy.
you're gonna be all in. Well, I'm just talking about like a viewer watching this episode, making it through episode 4. You're like, I'm hooked. I'm gonna be all in. And so, yeah, I always tell people is like, the show's amazing. Just get through the first 3 episodes. After that, it takes off like a rocket. So,
And it's also kind of a fascinating thing with this show. I mean, the entirety of Spartacus, like all the 4 original seasons. From this moment on, there isn't a truly bad episode until like season 4. It's like,
yeah,
like
I mean,
season 2 has a few dips, but nothing bad. The prequel is probably like, even though it's only like 6 episodes, that's probably like the best TV show I've ever seen. It's like there is not a bad episode in that entire thing. Every episode of the sequel is like the prequel is great.
so Ronan's saying you don't have to listen to us when we get to that episode because everything was great.
Yeah. Well, I
No,
mean,
but
and
I
still
think you're
listen.
yeah, I think you're correct. It's like at this point, I mean, nothing stands out to me as like, oh, that's a filler episode or something. Like from this point forward, folks, if you stuck with us, you're just going to hear us. You're going to see Ronan very excited for the next, 2 or 3 months every Friday. So, with that, Steve, Ronan is just chomping at the bit. He wants us to get
And
into
chopping
talking
on
about this. So,
nerd
I'm just
clusters.
I'm going to turn it over to you, Steve, as you just slowly work your way through this episode to give Ronan as much satisfaction and enjoyment as you can.
All right.
Let me take off my pants so I can start edging.
You guys wearing pants? So it starts with Badiatus, or the Spartacus is like it just sitting in a cell somewhere, and he's dragged out and thrown like nearly off of the edge of the cliff that the Ludus is built on. And so Spartacus is just down on the ground, laying on his back, like his head is hanging over the edge. And Badiatus just walks up and steps on his dick, and he's like, "Spartacus, you fucking suck. I know that you schemed your way into the main event with Crixus. I know everything that happens in the House of Badiata. So clearly, I was aware of what you did. We had an agreement, and you immediately broke the agreement. Honestly, I should have just killed you, but I didn't because the show has to go on. Steve was right about everything he said in the previous recording. I just did a stupid thing because the show required me to do a stupid thing, but it's okay because now we're here in episode 4, and Spartacus is trying to defend himself. I will go back to the arena. I will fight for you. I will earn money to protect my life. And Badiatus is like, no one wants to see you in the arena anymore.
Yeah, you
Uh,
suck.
Yeah.
it's like, people you were hot shit after that first arena fight you had, and then you have let yourself be humiliated. So no one wants to see you anymore. So I should have killed you, but I didn't, because otherwise we couldn't have this stellar episode that we got here. And even after all this, Spartacus is asking about his wife, and Body Odyssey is like,
Yeah.
"Are you
I just
fucking
do not care
serious
about your
right
fucking
now?"
wife at this point, you idiot. Like, are you not listening to the words coming out of my mouth? This
Multiple times in these early episodes, Spartacus is like, my wife, my wife, my wife, and Body Odyssey is like, we have a fucking deal. Like, let me work on it.
it turns
It's-
into a Borat bit. My wife, my wife. They just keeps going with it.
I do like in this moment because this is a line that Badiatus comes back to later on in the season, a few episodes down the line, where Badiatus tells Spartacus here, like you said, Steve, where he's like, "Nothing escapes my knowledge in the House of Badiatus. Like I know everything that's going on." And then a few episodes down the line, when Crixus gets into some trouble, you realize, that Badiatus does know everything
yeah,
that's going on at
he
all
knew
times
all of
in his
this.
house, and he just lets things happen if he needs to. But he knows. He knows.
Yeah.
So
So, go ahead.
if I may, following on to a viewer comment, get that interaction going, that engagement going with the listener comments.
Hit the
Uh,
like and subscribe.
so what has happened to Spartacus is Spartacus has suffered from a little thing we like to call hot shot booking, and he was immediately booked into
So, you
a
see
high
Steve's
spot.
face. Steve's eyes just look dead. He's just like, oh.
Spartacus was immediately brought in and booked as the top guy. And then suddenly, the booker, in this case, Badiatus McMahon, was like, you know what? No, I think he's going to lose and do something stupid, and then blame the talent for who had like he had the push going behind him, and then suddenly yanked the rug out from under him. That's what's happened to Spartacus. So now he's going to get banished down to FCW or the lower venues because he's got to build up his television persona. I
This is
guess.
kind of interesting. Like, obviously, the viewers enjoy your wrestling analogies when it comes to this, but it actually kind of goes to show that wrestling, like when wrestling storylines are done well, you can just translate that stuff to actual like drama, and it works just fine.
There's a reason why people back in the 70s until the early 80s genuinely thought wrestling was real.
Well, that's
It's
because they're
because
dumb.
well, it was also portrayed in a realistic way, and guys weren't doing like triple back salt moon flips into bullshit.
You
And
guys are from Memphis. When you were growing up as kids, do you guys think the wrestling stuff was real even back then when you were
when I
No.
kids?
was when I was young, like 5, 6 or so, yeah. But I also didn't really start watching wrestling. Frank kind of got me into it like early 20s, but that's kind of
Okay.
a different thing.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I think the cat was pretty well out of the bag when I started watching wrestling.
I mean, you didn't
Yeah.
think the Undertaker was real?
I didn't, oddly enough. I didn't think, Duke the Dumpster Drozy was actually a garbage man. Yeah, none of that.
Doink Doink the Clown, like, he probably was I don't think he was a real clown, but he seemed clown-like.
You know what? By the way, you mentioned action figures earlier. Where are our Spartacus action figures? Like, I want a Crixus action figure. Where is that? Get on
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
Steven, tonight.
yeah,
Get on that.
yeah, get on that hot show,
And an
like,
Alithia figure. Come on, get on that.
yeah, get
We
on that
want those.
Matt
Sideshow
wants an
Collectibles
Alithia real doll.
hot to
Hey.
yeah.
Can we fucking talk about this show?
Go, Steve. We're just killing time while you're sitting there patiently waiting. Go ahead.
So, anyways, Body Odyssey is just telling Spartacus, like, look, the only way I only kept you alive because I need to make some money. The only way I can make money off of you now is to put you in the pit, which got me thinking. I don't know if we discussed this the first time we went through the series. Did Body Odyssey not get paid for the games that he just put on? It's just because
Look,
he
Steve, earlier on, I'm like, how is this money thing? And you're like, it's obvious. Look at the context
Yeah,
clues.
it's
All of a
obvious
sudden, like,
it's obvious he should have been paid, but he acts
Yeah,
like
he
he
should
wasn't. So I'm
he should
wondering,
have
like,
gotten
did
something.
did he piss off the editor of the game so much that he wasn't paid? Regardless, Body Odyssey has no money,
He
and the
got if
only
he
well,
I
he needs to
imagine he
pay
got
that dude.
yeah
Remember
yeah,
that dude that's like, yeah, go, sorry.
I would say he got something, but because like he sent the crowd home angry with that bullshit finish, like they cut the amount that they were going to pay him for it because now his gladiators aren't in high demand, which seems like a bad way to
Oh,
do business. Getting your gold coin after like no no, it's like
should have killed Spartacus.
yeah yeah
by the way, this brings up another point. I got to tip my cap to Ronan yet again, begrudgingly. as I'm watching this episode, I'm sitting here thinking because there's a moment when Badiata says something about how there's not enough gladiators or something to like to fight in the arena or something like that. I'm like, we just got the last episode where everyone is talking about how fucking amazing Barca is, like the beast of Carthage. Why doesn't Badiatus ever put him in the arena to make some money? It's like
Even in the
he's a
prequel,
legend. He's a
even in the
legend,
prequel,
and
that
you never
actor
see him.
that actor never has a full gladiator fight in the entire run of this show. Not
He's
the
just a
prequel,
body.
not here, not well, I mean, spoilers. He doesn't exist past this season, but
Anyways, let me talk about this fucking show. So Spartacus is going to be sent to the pit 'cause that's the only way that Badiatus can make any money off him at this point. Again, should have fucking killed him, but he didn't. Too late for that. So the way you get ready for the pit is Asher and Barca throw
throw
like
dust on
ash
you.
and dust on you to make you look dirty. And Barca goes to like take the stupid purple ribbon off of Spartacus, and Spartacus fights for it, and Badiatus is like, "Don't you fucking dare! Don't you
Don't- the-
fucking
it-
backsass me,
it's
you son of a
Asher who
bitch!"
goes for it, and then he kicks Asher to the wall,
Right.
and Asher
Which
calls him like a Thracian bitch.
Yeah,
Badiatus comes
Thracian
in.
bitch.
Badiatus comes in and is like, "I'm taking this fucking ribbon from you. This ribbon's fucking stupid." But so
Burn
Spartacus
it.
is made ready for the pit by getting a bunch of dust and dirt thrown on him. So then we go.
As
We
was the
see
style of the time.
Badiatus and Lucretia hanging out, and Badiatus is really stressed about money. He's Xena's got a necklace, and she suggests that I can sell that emerald necklace, and Badiatus is like, you shouldn't have bought it in the fucking first place. And he's very upset, but and Xena is getting upset with him, but they make peace. They go and watch the gladiators down in like the training area, and Badiatus is like, give Crix a woman tonight. Let the men see that you're rewarded for service, and Xena's like, don't mind if I do.
Why not?
uh,
I
so
will
anyways,
see him well satisfied.
yeah,
I'll give him a woman, all right. Then she does the Xena she does the Xena chant thing that she always like that's supposed
they should have done that. There should be
Yeah,
an
shut up.
outtake where
That'd be
she
amazing.
just that's her O face. So anyway, so Spartacus and Curza are let out, and I still don't know if Curza even fought in the last episode, and we just didn't see it
they
because
didn't bother with it.
if he or because I mean did he also do the missio and someone rescued him for stupid reasons? I don't know.
Yeah.
We needed more discussion about like, do you have to honor the missio? Because apparently Kurza either didn't fight and Body Odyssey is like, no, this son of a bitch has no chance. I'm going to put him in the pit, or
But
he
he's
fight
beat
and
up.
was also spared. Yeah,
Yeah, he's
I
beat up. He clearly
just
got an
gotta go
ass
with it.
whooping.
So that means that in a scene we didn't see, Kurza throws up the two fingers, and the crowd's like, death, 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 and Body Odyssey is like, no, no, no. I paid a lot of money for Kurza.
Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't really thought about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's stupid. Like the fact that this show makes every gladiator fight a guaranteed like death match when like they aren't, that kind of throws the Missio thing like out of whack because again, like the Missio is that is your okay, I give up, you won. And if you had a good match, usually most of the time, like they like both gladiators walked away. But this show was like, nope, everything's a death match. It's one and
Well,
done.
the interesting thing about Kurza is Spartacus beat the shit out of him, and he had one eye, and he was still able to pass the test to become one of the Brotherhood with eye, which means he should be a pretty badass gladiator, all things
Wait,
considered.
does Kurza only have one eye?
No, no. Remember when Spartacus beat the shit out of him and his eye swelled up
Oh,
and
okay,
right before
okay.
they had to do the test? But I'm on saying he was still able to pass the test with one eye, and so it's like, well, he must have some sort of skill set. But yeah, we never see what happened. Like,
I
what
wonder
happened?
if
Anyways,
we're power scaling. I wonder is like Kurza worth like point two like is worth like point two Asher on a power leveling scale, or is he like is he the bottom level? Is he their Yamcha? I don't know.
I wish Kurza would stick around longer, but we are not long to see.
Yeah, because Kurz is about to die right now. Because Spartacus and Kurz are lit up, and they're basically just sitting against a wall, not training. While the real gladiators are doing their practice form 1, form 2, and whatnot. And Kurz is like, I'm gonna show them what a real man is. I am going to kill them all. And then smash cut to him getting hit in the face with a hammer.
I laughed so hard because there was a hilarious sound effect when the hammer hits him. It's like a hollow kind of bonk every time it hits him, and it was very funny because this cuts to bonk, and
Yep.
he's just dying. It's like that.
Yeah, and so Kurza is getting the shit beat out of him with a hammer by a guy named Ixion, obviously named after the electric unicorn from Final Fantasy X. And as Kurza is just having the shit kicked out of him, he's beat to shit. And Ixion, who is wearing someone else's face as a
It's
mask,
like Leatherface.
he cuts off Kurza's face and starts carrying it around like, you want to face me? Get it? Uh, and so Kurza is obviously dead. I really liked the faceless Kurza corpse that we saw
You
after the
only see
face
it
was
for a
cut off.
second, but it's pretty neat.
It's really good. Um,
Spartacus looks terrified, by the way.
yeah, Spartacus looks like he is
I think he
terrified.
finally realizes that he has stepped into some shit. He probably fucked up. I think he's having a lot of regrets, some rethinking
Yeah,
some life decisions at
and
this
like the kind
point.
of like the narrative thread of this episode is like fighting in the pit is not like fighting in the arena. Like the pit is treated like a place where if you fight in there too long, you're gonna go fucking feral. And so like his Spartacus is not doing well. By the way, Ovidius, speaking of Bodiotis's money troubles, Ovidius shows up and he's like, "Hey, you were supposed to fucking pay me the day after the games. So
And
yeah,
yet I find you here wagering coins still owed. Just with that
That was good, Ronan. That was
Yeah,
with,
that's a
with
good
that
shit-eating Ronin voice you got there.
with, with that weaselly face he's got, and the body, I was like, you'll get the sum, and then Barca has to step up, and he's like, okay, fine, yeah, at your convenience. But no, I still agree with
The
Matt that he
points
should have
still
gotten some
accrue.
money.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, whatever money Badiatas had after these last games, he is gambling it in the pit rather than paying Ovidius, and Ovidius is very upset by this. But Barca's there, and Ovidius is one of like two people that understand that Barca can do some shit, and so Ovidius backs down. But he lets Badiatas know that the interest continues to accrue. But now it's time for Spartacus to fight. And we have Ronan's favorite character who yells mongrel on mongrel. And so it's going to be Spartacus versus a dude who was not named after a Final Fantasy X summon. And
So he's
they
not
ha-
important to Steve.
yeah, he's not important. So they each draw a weapon, and the dude guy that Spartacus is going to fight draws like these like gloves with
Nail
like
brass
nails
knuckles.
sticking out of them. And then Spartacus just draws brass knuckles
Normal
without the
brass
nails.
knuckles.
And so Barca's like, oh, he's at a disadvantage. And Badiatus looks at him like, thank you, Captain fucking Obvious. uh, I think he also sends Asher to make a bet for Spartacus to win. So Badiatus is like all of his money is riding on Spartacus to do good, and of course Spartacus immediately gets his shit kicked in, and so Badiatus is just like, Jesus fucking Christ, can you do anything right? But Spartacus
Like,
ends up
get up.
Spartacus ends up fighting back, and but before we get here though, this is a scene that actually like weirds me the fuck out every time I see it. This guy that Spartacus is fighting as an intimidation tactic, he takes his spiked glove and like
Oh
shoves one
yeah.
of the spikes up into like the roof of his mouth to spit blood on Spartacus. Ugh, hate it.
Yeah.
But Spartacus ultimately beats this guy. He like takes like a butcher's hook and like shoves it under his jaw, and so dude's dead. So Badiatus is happy. He's gonna make some money, and he's immediately like, let Spartacus have a fucking Capri Sun to get his energy back, and then throw him back out there again. But we don't see this second fight. But presumably Spartacus wins, and he's at least 2-0 in the pit now. And so Spartacus is taken back taken back to the Ludus, and we get to see a really good like bro moment from Vero, because Spartacus is like thrown into the communal like gladiator like jail cell room.
Yeah, they're their own little gladiator, like, pit.
Yeah,
It's like where
and so he gets in there and someone asks, where's Curza? And Spartacus says Curza died. And then motherfucking Hamilcar, everyone's favorite gladiator, Hamilcar, stands up and he's like, he only gladiators get to sleep in this room. Like if he stays here, he's gonna die. I'm gonna kill him because he's not allowed here. He's just a fucking dog now. And so Vero gets up and basically tells Hamilcar to step the fuck back, and Hamilcar steps the fuck back. So
it's that
Vero is
great
being
kind of
a
step back
bro.
because he doesn't even have to say anything. He just gets up and looks at him. And the one of the few times that Jai Courtney could ever actually be intimidating, just kind of gets up and gives him the stare.
Oh, Jai Courtney. Oh, Jai Courtney.
Who the fucking casting him as goddamn Reese in one of the Terminator movies? I just what the actual
He
fuck?
was one of those actors like Sam Worthington, where Hollywood just started pushing him on everybody. It was like
We need
nobody
more
wants him.
Australians. We
Like,
need Australians. I don't know what he did that got him. I don't know what his role was that got him suddenly everywhere, but he was
Maybe it was
everywhere for
this.
a bit.
yeah.
Maybe someone watched Spartacus and Vero was their favorite too. It's like we gotta get him in Terminator. We gotta get him in like the last and worst Die Hard movie, and then we gotta put him in fucking Suicide Squad. We need Jai Courtney fucking
He's
everywhere.
okay in Suicide Squad because he gets to
No,
do his
nothing
actual.
nothing is okay in Suicide Squad.
He's in
Uh,
both. Like, never mind.
so anyways, Vero steps up and protects Spartacus. What else is happening around here? Crixus is uh, he and Navia have a moment where Crixus is going to be given a woman tonight, and it's going to be Xena. And so Navia goes and retrieves him, and she tries to talk to Crixus, and Crixus is like, "Look, I get it. I fucking understand. Uh, you've made your intentions clear. I'm gonna go fuck Xena, and I'm gonna be good. Like we're gonna be fine. Look, I'm willing to take one for the team, Navia. Don't you worry. We're good." And so
Well, she's trying to give him the necklace back
yeah, yeah.
because she can't keep it because then they're going to ask, "Where did you get it?"
Yeah. Well, that's later on. So we'll just go ahead and wrap up the Crixus storyline now, since Ronan jumped ahead here,
I thought that
which
was the first
which
part.
which is something that Ronan does frequently. Um, so the first time is Crixus is going to go fuck Xena, and she won't take the necklace from him or gives it back to him or whatever, and so he pretends like he bought it from Xena, and then he bangs Xena. Good on him. And then later on, there is a scene where Navia
She sees it on
yeah,
Xena.
she sees it on Xena, but then she pretends that Xena has summoned Crixus, but she didn't. And so Navia just wanted the opportunity to talk to Crixus alone, and so she tells the guard, "Hey, guard, Xena wants to see Crixus again." And so Crixus goes out, and then they have a conversation, apparently in front of this fucking guard here, where they discuss this necklace, and
These
Navia's
guards
like,
are great secret keepers. They just
they
don't
are.
talk about
Yeah.
shit.
Navy is like, that necklace was for me. Why did you give it to Xena? And Crix is like, are you fucking serious right now? Like, I offered it to you and you didn't want it. You can't be jealous now. And that's when Navia says, you dumb fucking idiot. Like, Xena controls everything about me. She controls what I wear. She knows everything that I have. If I show up wearing a like opal necklace out of nowhere, don't you think she's gonna ask where that fucking thing came from? And then Crix is like, oh wow, I am
Oh,
Yeah.
fucking stupid.
He's like,
oh,
oh,
Urka Jerka. I
oh,
was like, a
You
little
see that really slow hamster on the wheel?
which
yeah. And he's like,
the hamster
oh, yeah,
wheel.
yeah, yeah.
But they
I'm
kiss her.
picturing like a really buff hamster that can't really.
But they so and Navy is just going off on him, telling him what a stupid fucking idiot he is, and then Crixus just kisses her, and she's taken aback, like, "Wow, you really are fucking stupid." Guard that was a foot and a half away from us the whole time that heard that conversation put Crixus back in his cell. Anything else we need
I
to talk
love
about
though that.
Crixus?
Well, I love the very end where Crixus got that smile on his face. He's like, I got her. I got her. Like,
There's nothing at all inappropriate about everything that just happened here. Or
yeah,
Kaderka, little hamster on the wheel.
I'm not
Hell
worried about
yeah.
Xena at all.
No. Let's see. There's also a scene where after the first night in the pit, Body Otis goes back to talk to Xena again. And Xena, smartest person in the show, continues to tell Biotis, like, look, you can't go to the fucking pit. It's not safe there. Bad things are going to happen. And Biotis is like, no, don't you worry about it. Barca's going to protect you. And
Barca, yeah.
she has some line
Beast
like,
of
if he
Carthage.
doesn't protect you, I'm going to like remove his cock from his body. But Xena is trying to get Biotis to just,
They're having like a couples fight. Like, what would
yeah,
you know if you die, what they're gonna do to me? I'm
yeah.
like, you don't have an heir. They're gonna give me to somebody else. And they're having a nice couples fight.
Yeah, and the topic of the emerald necklace that she bought a couple episodes ago to impress Alithia comes up, and she's going to sell it back, and Badiatus thinks it's beneath him to have to sell jewelry back. But she has gone out and she has tried to sell it, and I think she paid like 28 space bucks for it a couple episodes ago. But the jewelry store vendor is only going to give her 14, and she is very upset by this. But then comes good
Good
Salonius,
Salonius.
and
Good
good Salonius
Salonius.
is laying it on thick. It's like Xena said some comment like, "Oh, do you have Salonius offers to buy the emerald necklace at full price, and Xena says, "Oh, do you have a woman that you want to show it to, or that you want to put it on?" And he's like, "Oh yes, she's standing right in front of me." And he like very like lecherously like slowly walks around Xena in a little circle, like staring her down. And she's like, "I'm fucking
As
married.
was the
I'm not.
style of the time.
I'm
Like
not interested in
every
Salonius."
dude in this show, when they're around Xena, Lucretia, Lucy Lawless, like, what can I do? what? What? I can buy
Yes,
you whatever you
Domina.
want.
You're
Like,
not a
yes,
slave. I'm a slave to you. Yes,
yeah,
Domina.
whatever you need.
So Salonius says, I will pay you 28 space bucks, full price for the emerald necklace, and you can keep the necklace. I just because you're Xena, and you deserve 28 space bucks, and also you deserve an emerald necklace. And she shuts him down. It's like, give me the 14 space bucks. So she takes that from the jewelry vendor, and Salonius makes a comment that like rumors of Badiatus being in the pit are spreading all around town, which is not the kind of reputation that Badiatus wants. But there's nothing, Salonius knows he's being like sleazy here, and he's shitting on Badiatus when he takes the chance. But Xena refuses his advances, takes the 14 space bucks. There's a scene later on where Body Otis and Asher are counting up their winnings, and Asher tells him that we made a lot of money off of Spartacus, but not enough to balance the books. So Spartacus is going to have to go back out there, and Body Otis makes a comment that pay the most pressing needs, except for Ovidius. Fuck Ovidius, he gets paid last. But they're
The
talking about how,
interest continues to accrue, though.
yes. They're talking about that we don't have enough money, so in comes Xena with the 14 space bucks, and again she and Badiatus are arguing again. Badiatus is upset now because she paid 28 for it and only got 14 back, and he's like, women in business, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And then she says, "Would you have preferred me to take a handout from good Salonius?" And Badiatus is like,
You
"My
got me.
bad. You did the right thing. You struck the wiser bargain." So it's just a continuing money problems between
I like this relationship here because it really shows that they love each other,
yeah.
and that's like a thread through the whole thing. Because I mean, we'll find obviously Xena, Lucy Lawless is cheating on him with Crixus, in air quotes, cheating.
Yeah.
But they literally love each other, and even though they're doing all this crazy shit behind each other's backs and there's lies and stuff, these moments where he's like, "God damn it, honey, okay, I love you, like you're the best." I actually love that
Yeah.
about.
Two
When
two terrible people that genuinely treasure each other.
Yeah,
when I first watched the show, like there aren't like I don't remember like episode by episode basis, but I do remember the first watch through of the show thinking that like because eventually it gets to the point where you start to find out that all these characters are planning to backstab each other. And my thought was, oh well, at some point, Lucretia or Badiatus are going to try to sell the other one out, and it never happens. It just never fucking happens. And by the end of it, you're like, no, no, they're probably one of the best, if not the best, evil power couple I can think of. And like, I can't really think of another one where you got a power couple, particularly evil, antagonistic power couple that never turn on each other and are just genuinely crazy about each other and will
Yeah,
do anything for each other. But they're still evil. I can't think of a better one.
they're good. They're really
Great.
good.
The only other kind of side plot thing that I think it happens is uh Crixus and Barca are just outside talking shit about Spartacus. They note that the red RPM Ranger, who is Barca's boyfriend, like has the hots for Spartacus. That goes like really nowhere for the rest of the series.
Does he
But
have the
Asher,
hots for him, or is he just trying to be nice and
I
kind?
think he's
Because I
just
they
feel
trying
like
to be
there's
nice.
well,
They're
Crix,
joking that,
oh
oh,
yeah,
he wants some Thracian dick, baby. But like, no, that's
no,
not what he.
Crixus says that Red RPM Ranger fancies Spartacus. Like whether that actually is true or not is ultimately irrelevant, but that's what they're saying.
there,
Uh,
in that moment though, Steve. There's also the point where they mention the necklace, and Bark is like, "What necklace?
yeah, that's what I'm
What?
getting
What?
to.
Oh, okay, okay,
Asher shows up, and
yeah."
Asher has a loud mouth in this episode. He's like, "Hey, Crixus, that necklace that you bought. Hey, everyone, Crixus bought a necklace. Crixus, that necklace that you
Yeah.
bought. Did
Hey
I do a
guys,
good
guys,
job?"
Crixus,
And
Crixus bought a necklace,
Did
an
it get
opal
you laid,
necklace.
Crixus?
yeah, and so Crixus says, shut the fuck up, or I will make your dick as lame as that leg, or something like that. He threatens Asher's dick. And so then, like, Crixus and Barca walk away, and Barca's like, "Are you fucking serious? Are you trying to fucking bang Navia? Did you buy her a present?" And then Crixus says, "Don't worry, she's not interested." And then later on, we find out she's interested. I don't know that Barca ever finds that out. Um, any other side plot stuff to talk about before we get back to what's going on in the pit?
I don't think so.
No,
All right.
no, I just like there was a moment where like Badiatus and Lucretia were looking down into the gladiator training area, and I noticed that it was kind of telling that Crixus was actually sparring and training Varro there for a bit, and I was like, huh, that's neat.
Well,
Varro's
They sort
Varro's
of,
good enough to
yeah.
yeah,
that kind of.
Badiatus says later on, like the Badiatus says that Crixus is the only one of our men the audience actually wants to see, and of the rest, Vero is the
Barca,
only one that
Barca,
shows any promise. So I
Yeah,
guess
the
so I
beast
guess
of Carthage.
yeah.
yeah, they don't care about Barca for some reason. So yeah, I think Vero is getting some Crixus sparring time because Badiata sees Vero as basically the number 2 gladiator at this point in his Ludus. It should be Rascos and Hamilcar, but I guess they're just not good enough right now.
Or the
Uh,
veteran.
Ravenous. Don't
the
forget
veteran,
Ravenous.
Ravenous. All right, so let's go back to the pit. So there's 3 instances of Spartacus fighting in the pit. We already talked about the first one where he beats Ixion. The second time, he just beats the guy. There's not much to this fight, but he's starting to lose his shit. He starts seeing hallucinations of Sura, his wife. So he beats the guy during the second fight, and he sees, Sura crying off in the distance. He's taken back to the Ludus, and hallucination Sura is having a conversation with him while Vero is trying to have a real conversation with him. So Vero will ask a question, and then Spartacus will give an answer to what Sura said. And so Spartacus is like, yeah, I have to save you. And Vero, he's saying that to Sura, and Vero's is like, save me from fucking what? Like, what are you talking about?
We have to
Uh,
be together
we
again. He's
have
like,
to be
as
together again
gladiators?
as gladiators. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Would you like some drugs? Because Vero
I
has
have
brought
this mandrake root.
Mandrake root.
yeah,
Yeah.
brought a mandrake root and tells Spartacus to chew on it because it'll numb the pain. And Spartacus says, I can't. I need whatever senses I have left. I need them. And so he rejects it. But he's starting to lose his shit. He's starting to have hallucinations of his wife. And then there's also just a fucking dream sequence where Spartacus is chilling in his cell, and Body is like, "Hey, good news, we found your wife." And so Spartacus goes out and meets Sura, and Sura says, "You have to save me before the rains." And then it starts raining blood, and Spartacus
Rain and
wakes up.
blood
Let's
from a
go.
lacerated sky.
So
That's
then,
pretty cool.
then in the real world, there's a scene that starts out kind of the same way, where Badiata shows up and says, "Hey, good news. I've got some information on your wife." And Spartacus starts to tell him, "That's good because I had a vision from the gods, and I have to save Sura before the rains, and I'm not going to fight, or like tonight's the last time I'm going to fight for you in the pit." And Badiatus is like, "Are you fucking like, you don't have a fucking say. If you don't fight for me, I'm not going to find your wife." And Spartacus is like, "Wait a minute, hang on, got a
Hear
deal
me
for
out.
you." He says, "Take all of the money you have and bet on me to lose, and I will throw the fight and I will let myself be killed. And in exchange, I want you to promise that you will continue to fight Sarah." And Badiatus is like, "All right, but how are you going to enforce that?" And Spartacus says, "Yeah, I just honor. And
Your
also, my
word.
fucking ghost
Yeah.
is going to haunt you
Yeah.
from the
I will come
afterlife."
back and I will murder you from the afterlife.
Vengeance from
Yeah.
the afterlife.
What,
So
what's
Badiatus
yeah.
naturally says, sure.
Yeah, Body Odds gets this big smile on his face and does this little like friendly like headbutt to Spartacus, like, "Yeah, you're gonna fucking die, but I'm gonna make some money." Yeah. Uh, but yeah, so they it was so that they the deal has been struck.
So on
Spartacus.
this scene, real quick, before we get like away from it too fast, there is a moment where Asher is talking shit. He's like, "Oh, there's not much fight left in the fucking Thracian dog now, is there?" Blah, blah, blah. And does it seem like we keep mentioning Barca, even though I guess in the long run he actually doesn't matter. Do
Yeah,
you
he
think the
is.
Spartacus is starting to win over Barca?
I
Because
think
Barca
so.
kind of defends him.
Yeah, Barca has now seen Spartacus actually like fight and win. And so Barca, yeah, I think Barcus. I think Barca
Spartacus.
I think Barca is starting to have some respect from Spartacus, like or for Spartacus. Like he could see that, okay, there's something there. Spartacus can fight. I'm gonna stop shitting on him. And then again, this, this ultimately goes nowhere because Barca as a character goes nowhere.
I think
Uh,
I also think that Barca, like, he's got the pigeons and stuff. They kind of present Barca as kind of like a kind soul in a way.
he
Like he's not.
pisses in their soup.
Listen, I'm not
the
saying he's
birds are
perfect.
the
Nobody's
birds
perfect.
the
I'm just saying,
birds
like,
are a holdover from his previous boyfriend. He doesn't care for them.
he's got just. I mean, fine, whatever. I'm trying to stand up for Barca
Look,
here.
just you
Leave
mean
it in the
Barcus?
chat, people. Put a
Stand up for
comment. You can
Stand up in the
justice for
chat. Does
Barcus.
Barca matter?
the Beast of Carthage. I'm trying to stand up for the Beast of Carthage.
Barca lives matter.
So it's time for the final the final pit fight for Spartacus, and he's gonna fight Ixion again. And Ixion is now wearing Curza's face, which I thought was an
Looks
awesome touch.
awesome.
Uh,
Fugitivus right across the front.
and so they're going to fight, and Badiatus tells him, like, make it look good. Don't make it obvious that you're throwing the fight. And even then, like, Asher doesn't place the bet with like one bet taker. He spreads around the money so that that doesn't raise any suspicions. And so
It
Spartacus
must have been easy as fuck to cheat back then.
you would think. Spartacus is fighting, but he's losing, and he's losing on purpose. And he's on the ground. And they actually get real weapons in this fight. Like Ixion has two fucking war hammers, and
Oh, two
Spartacus
axes.
yeah, two axes. And Spartacus has a sword that, rather than just having a point on the end, it's got another handle on the end, and then like a barb on the end of it. It's a really cool looking thing. So you can
They
swing
call
it
it a
like
Sika.
yeah, you can swing it like a sword, but you can also grip it on both ends and kind of
Do
use
some
it. Yeah,
stuff with
do some
it, I
stuff with it.
guess.
I thought it was neat. One guy. Sorry, the second guy that Spartacus
He had
fights
like a
with a
ball and
fucking ball
chain.
and chain. I was like, I
Yeah.
saw that and I was like, where's the gladiator that learns that fighting style? Because I want to see them. Maybe that's fucking Ravenous. Maybe that's what he uses. Uh,
Because
anyways,
he also when because he whips it around like he's fucking Jackie Chan and catches Spartacus with like
yeah, but
12
it's
pounds
also
of
got like
solid
it's
iron in
also
the
like
face twice.
I think it has like a handle on it too, because he uses it like a boxing glove. So he punches with it and then he fucking slings it out there. It's awesome, and we needed a gladiator that uses that. But on to the final fight. Spartacus has been knocked down, and he looks out to Badiatus in the audience, and Badiatus gives him the nod. And so Spartacus is just gonna lay there and be killed. But
But secretly in the audience,
secretly in the audience is someone with a knife going after Badiatus, and Spartacus sees this, and he does the Darth Vader no, because he needs Badiatus alive. And so he kills
still did it better than
Ixion.
Hayden Christensen.
He
He
kills
uses his
Ixion,
finishing move, the
the
throw.
throw. He kills Ixion and throws whatever weapon he has at one of Badiatus's attackers and saves Badiatus's life. There were two attackers. Barca takes out one, but Spartacus gets the other one, but not before Badiatus gets like a slash to his stomach. It's a stomach wound, but it's an important character, therefore he's going to survive.
Yeah.
So now, what does everyone do? Because Spartacus just saved Badiatus's life, but he
And
also basically bankrupt him at the
he
same
won the
time.
fight.
Yeah. So it's like there's good and bad here. So everyone goes back to the Ludus, and
Wait a minute,
Bodyguard.
wait a minute. There's a sequence when they pull those dudes out of the pit to see who it was, and Asher like pulls the thing. It's like we don't know who this mark is, like the brand. They're slaves, and Body Odyssey is like they sent fucking
Got
slaves to
common
kill the
fucking
mighty Body
slaves that he's been kicking them.
That's one of the things that happens when they go home, which is where I was getting to in the story. You
Oh, I thought
sons
that
of
was right after. I thought they pulled him right out of the pit. And
No,
they
that was
bring
in the
them home.
Ludus. That was in the Ludus.
oh, okay, we'll see. Yeah, it's been a week since I watched it. Give me a
All
break.
right.
Why
Well,
didn't
yeah,
you
that's how.
rewatch it? It's a good episode.
I didn't have time, Ronan.
Yeah, but so like the Badiatus, everyone goes home to the Ludus, and Badiatus has had the bodies dragged there, and he finds out he's pissed off that common slaves were sent to kill him, and so now it's going to be Asher's job in future episodes to figure out who owned these slaves. I feel like I could put two and two together and say it was Ovidius, like right now, but we'll see where that goes.
I also think it's funny where he makes fun of Barca because he's like, "Where were you?" And they're like, "This guy could have killed me," and Barca's like, "Well, I was paying attention to the other guy," and he says something
Forgive me,
like,
Dominus. I didn't see there was a second attack, and he said it in such a pathetic,
Yeah.
weak
Yeah,
way.
like-
It's like,
Like,
I was
I didn't
killing
know
this
that
guy.
I didn't know that people could come in twos. Like, what do you mean? Like, I can only count to this many. Yeah, it's very strange the way he says that. Like, yeah, this is like a legitimate explanation from him. It's like, I didn't
Yeah.
know there was another one. You're a
I
shitty
wasn't-
bodyguard,
He
Barca.
got too carried away because he kills the shit out of the first guy. He's like grounding and pounding and stabbing and crushing.
"Oh
The,
yeah."
while the second guy comes up on the Badiatus. So yeah, that's Barker getting a little carried away, but still, it's just the way he says it. It's just so pathetic. It's like I didn't do any like a little kid who hasn't thought it over at all.
Yeah.
I mean, Badiatus buys it because he doesn't have Barca killed, and nor does Lucy Lawless cut his dick off in this episode. Speaking of Lucy Lawless, Badiatus goes to her, and she's very upset that he has been injured, and he's like, She's like, who the fuck are we gonna kill? And Badiatus is like, I'm still figuring this out.
She
Well, I
knows
like-
what's up.
Well, I like she's so happy. She's like, Spartacus is finally dead.
Yes.
He's finally dead, and then Badiatus like, "Nah, he's still
Yeah,
alive."
well,
She's like, "What?"
Badiatus has to tell her, like, well, we had a rigged fight, but
She's so pissed
Yeah,
off.
she's pissed off that Spartacus is still alive, but Badiatus tells him, if Spartacus had actually succeeded in throwing a fight, I would be dead right now. And Xena, smartest character in the show, says Spartacus is fucking cursed. We need
Yeah.
to kill him before the curse overtakes
Throw
our.
him over the cliff right now. You're
Yeah.
safe. Throw him over the cliff right now.
But that doesn't happen because Spartacus is brought out to the cliff, and he has another moment with Badiatus, and Badiatus basically lays it on the line. It's like, look, you were supposed to die, but you're still alive. And Spartacus says, well, yeah, but you're alive too. And so
that
Badiatus.
is a nice moment they've got where they're like, I mean, if I hadn't, and even Badiatus like, yeah, so fuck.
Yeah, but Badiatus says, yeah, debts have to be repaid. I'm going to continue to search for your wife. Tomorrow morning, you will return to gladiator training. And that is where the episode ends. Fantastic episode.
Well,
Wonderful.
Absolutely incredible
The
episode.
so
first
so
truly banger episode of the show.
yeah. So before we just let Ronan cook for a while, because I know he's just raring to talk. So Steve, why is this such a good episode in your opinion?
I just- Again, Spartacus is humbled. He actually has character development where he is not like, my Thracian blood makes me the best fighter in the world. Um, Enough good things happen that make me stop caring about how stupid it is that Spartacus was saved at the end of the last episode. I like the almost like the beginning of this like begrudging respect and as close as you could have to a friendship between Spartacus and Badiatus. I think that's a highlight of kind of the middle of season one is the times where Spartacus and Badiatus are actually on the same page and working together before Badiatus becomes just a complete unforgivable asshole to Spartacus and
Evil, one
leads
might say.
Well,
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
he's
leads
that
the
really
rest
that,
of
that turn really happens in like 2 episodes.
well,
But
whenever it happens, I like this little bit in the middle of the season where Badiatus and Spartacus are like working together. They recognize they need each other. Their fortunes are tied to one another. This episode is the beginning of that. The fight scenes are great. There's a lot less experimental bullshit. We see Spartacus actually win some fights again. He doesn't spend 37 years fucking with his little ribbon, which I think he gets the ribbon back at the end of this episode.
yeah, it's tied onto
Um,
the sword.
just everything is on point. The characters, the story, the fights, everything is top tier in this episode.
acting's great too
Yes,
from everybody.
incredible.
Acting. I think this is like the first time that I was like, oh, Andy Whitfield is really great. Those first few episodes, he's just kind of playing your sort of generic, sort of like cocky kind of dude. But
Yeah,
this
it's not
one,
his
he's
fault. It's just how it's written.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And this with this episode, it's just like, God damn, like he's like really good in the pit. Like just how he's going nuts, he's going crazy. Just the fight sequences, they're just down and dirty in this little tiny little, space. It's not like the big open arena where people are running around and stuff. It's like, no, these dudes, they got like spikes on their knuckles and they are just beating the shit out of each other. It's brutal. And yeah, I think this was. I agree with everything you said, Steve. I think this is where the whole show sort of synthesized and came together. It's like, okay, if this is what the show is going to be, I'm all in the rest of the way. Absolutely love this episode. Ronan, I'm going to turn it over to you. Profess your love. Go on your little monologue, your soliloquy about why you love this episode so much.
It's everything that Steve has already pointed out. This is the episode where the show finally, like any good TV show, it might take an episode, like we said earlier, it might take a few episodes for everything to really click, for the actors to figure out how I'm going to play this character, how I'm going to do this, for the writers to really work out how to play, how to write a character, how to do all the story beats and such, and how to not do like weird camera effects and bullshit like that they were experimenting with. Although helmet cam wasn't too bad in hindsight, but uh, like this is the episode where everything starts to click. As we've already said, this is the point where it's like, okay, we Body Otis and Lucy Lawless's relationship. You really do kind of see. I say like that's when I say like them kind of bickering at each other. That's not like all they hate like can't no. It's just that's just what couples do. Like it's just like you know it's that like what I was saying with Lucy Alls. She's like, "Well, what would have happened if you had died down there? I'd be a widow because there's no, like I'm a widow and this is Rome, and then I'd be sold off to somebody else." She kind of like it's all good stuff. This whole episode, like even in the background, there are some neat side things. Like Borrow now gets to train with Crixus. That's a neat little detail in the background that you don't really pay that much attention to, but it's like he's shown promise. So the big dog gets to train with him for a bit. You find out like Asher. You start to see like the kind of weasel that Asher is going to be. Everything really clicks in this episode. This is why this is the first banger episode.
Yeah, I also think what helps this episode is it's not overstuffed with a ton of characters. It really kind of like focuses in on those three or four main characters. Like we don't get Alithia and all these other sort of side characters kind of running around in this sort of taking the time away from like Spartacus and the main things. And I was just, this is a great episode. And if you ever listen to the audio commentary track for this episode, like on the Blu-ray, even like Stephen DeKnight and everybody that's on it, so like this is the episode where the show became the show. And I can't really think of anything I dislike. Is there anything you guys dislike about this episode?
Nothing related to this episode. It's more the baggage that it carries over from the stupid writing in the previous episode. Like that whole thing of like, well, this problem would have been solved if you had just let Spartacus be killed in the last fight. You probably would have made decent money because that's what the crowd wanted. You sent the crowd home upset, so it probably hurt your purse that you got. Like
Just
that's it.
imagine
That's
Kurza throwing up the Missio and body odds is like, we're on Team
I had
Kurza, right?
yeah, the thing of Kurza surviving, like that didn't even occur to me until Steve brought it up. It's like, yeah, why didn't they just let Kurza die? Like, who whooped his ass? I'm gonna assume it was
Yeah.
Varro, but like, still,
What that we didn't they have that problem in House of Asher too? Wasn't there some fights where what happened to that fight? We never saw that gladiators fight. They
Yeah.
show up and they're just not in there.
there's a lot of
Give me a
problems with the House of Asher.
give me like 20 seconds of a fight, just like a quick. Oh, he was there. He was doing something. People were cheering or they were booing, whatever set up. But it is kind of weird that
But
Kurza
the
was just gone.
I'm on the Spartacus wiki and I'm looking at Kurza's page and it says he is proficient in fighting, earning the mark of the Brotherhood, but not skilled enough to fight in the arena. So I don't if you take the wiki at face value, it sounds like Kurza was just the body artist just looked at Kurza and said, "Absolutely not. You're going to the pit." But
He
other, I
earned
mean,
the mark. He earned the
yeah, he
mark
earned the mark,
with
but
one eye.
then he apparently wasn't good enough for the arena. I mean, either after earning the mark, Badiatus still said absolutely not, or Badiatus accepted the missio from Kurza in the during the last games. It's one or the other.
Yeah, he either had to have done well enough in his fight to where you could justify letting him live, which I kind of doubt, or it's just we're not supposed to think about it. We're just sort of like, and this wouldn't have mattered if we hadn't been tied into this because of no Spartacus got just trashed, fucking ruined in the last episode, and was allowed to live. So that's honestly the only real stain on this episode, and it's not this episode's fault. That's the previous episode that did that to this episode. So
Yeah, fair.
otherwise, no, I don't have any. I can't think of any
Logan,
issues at all with this
we found
episode.
Ravenous. Where was Ravenous?
Oh,
I
I
th-
didn't see Ravenous. I was
I
looking.
well, I think, and I could be wrong, but I do believe I saw him. It was in that moment where, because when I saw the veteran, that old guy, I was like, "Who the fuck is that?" There is a moment where the camera still kind of pans, and you see like a line of gladiators. Like, is that Ravenous back there? You see his face somewhat clearly, where
Hmm.
Animaeus is like giving them their speech about how it's like, "Oh no, no, don't laugh at Spartacus," because they're laughing at him for having to go to the pits. It's like, don't laugh at that man. That is a warning. You take that and you treat that like it's a fucking serious thing. You never want to be in that situation. That is life or death. Right? Well, more so than usual, but that is serious business. There, I believe I saw him in that scene, but I'm not
Okay.
sure. It,
Well, leave a comment, folks. Did you see Ravenous? If so, just leave like a timestamp of where it was, and we'll go back and we'll see if we can find Ravenous. So that's it. You guys have any final comments you guys want to say about this episode? Ronan, the floor is yours. Is there anything more that you want to? Oh yeah, we got to do this, right? We ready? Three, two, one. 100%.
Yeah, there you go.
100%.
As
100%.
if there
So
is any doubt.
yeah.
no, of course.
So, thanks again for listening, everybody. Hit that like and subscribe. We'll be back next Friday with a look at Shadow Games. This is episode 5, and we're gonna kind of see, is it continuing upwards or does it drop off a cliff after this amazing episode? We'll find out. So, thanks for listening to another episode of Jupiter's Croc here on Outpost Unknown, and we'll see you next Friday. Adios.